Hi, my name is Amy Magyar, and today I'm here with Coach LJ of FromWithin Coaching. Thanks for joining me, LJ.
Thanks for having me, Amy.
I'm going
Thank
to
you
do
very
that
much.
over again. Hold on just for a second. Hi, my name is Amy Magyar. I'm the owner of FromWithin Coaching. I'm also a coach, but more importantly today, I have the opportunity to be the question asker of Coach LJ, also one of our affiliate coaches. Good morning, LJ.
Good morning, Amy. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to our small discussion.
Yeah. So the reason for this is just for us to have a chance to maybe unpack a word that I've been hearing a lot lately. And I don't want to just assume my definition of it is the same as yours or maybe the definition of our listeners, but the word is resiliency. We are being asked to use resiliency more and more. And I'm just wondering for you, how you would even define resiliency, and then what the heck, just because you have it, it's like, okay, what do I do with it, right? It's like I can buy something from the store, but if I don't know how to use it, it's no good to me. I just wasted my money. So not that I think you can buy resiliency from the store, although wouldn't that be nice? However, I'm pretty sure you can't yet. So how would you define resiliency? And then how does somebody use it?
Yeah, that's a good question. First of all, you go to the gas station and fill up with it. You can't have enough of it.
Right.
For me, resilience is the ability to bounce back. And whether you lost your job or you went through a divorce or you lost a loved one,
yes,
these are all situations where although it takes time, and for the first one it takes a little bit less time than for the second one, maybe.
Yeah.
Or the several different situations, but the ability to come out of the blackness or the there where is no light at the end of the tunnel. For me, that is resilience.
That's such a great word. I didn't even think about the elasticity of it, right? It's the bounce. It's you get to the bottom or you hit that wall or whatever the metaphor is that you want to use. It's resilience is the ability to come off the wall or to pick yourself up. Yeah, yep. That's such a great way of looking at it. Wow.
And we discussed this before. What we do as coaches, it's again about self-awareness or awareness.
Yeah.
And it's about being able.
I'm sorry to interrupt for a second. Where do you think though, that awareness, how does that show up with resiliency? Is it that you have to realize you have to pick yourself up, or is that the first step?
I think it's part. Yeah, I think that's a very good description. First of all, being aware in what kind of state you are.
Yeah.
In this process.
Right. Are you crumpled up on the floor or not?
Yeah.
Right?
Am I in the gutter, or how do I do this? Yeah. And what to do from here?
Yeah.
So it's the step from here to there. And if you're not self-aware, you don't even know where you are. So you don't know where to start.
Right.
And you don't have the ability to say, okay, this looks like a very bad situation.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in, but what might be a good way forward?
Right.
And if you know yourself, you know also what to apply for yourself to get to the other side. And it takes time. So it's not like a quick fix. Okay, I'm self-aware now. I've got it figured out, and tomorrow it's done. That's not the way to do it. And that's not the way how it goes, because time is your biggest friend, but it will come.
So to that point, there's almost like what's coming up for me is there's two different ways of looking at resiliency. Is if we say it's the ability to sort of pop up or bounce back, right? The elastic side of it. Is it sometimes we do have to stay at the sort of metaphorical bottom to gain context, to gain awareness, to gather the lessons. And so in that case, maybe the longer you're down, maybe the higher you bounce back because you've got so much that you bring with us. as someone with a Clifton Strengths positivity, you and I both have it. We don't love to be at the bottom a lot. We don't love to be in that gutter. That's why I was laughing when I was talking about it, because I'm like, oh, it just kills me to, to be anywhere in that sort of stuck feeling. And yet I think there's so much information that can come from that. The goal's not to spend all your time down there, right? The resiliency is how you come out of it.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good way of kind of looking at it. And you can hit and bounce really quickly if it's maybe a smaller, lessons are quick and pretty obvious. But what we know about life is that sometimes I think the opportunity to really look at something as to why it didn't go the way you wanted it to, or why you were in that situation, is it isn't just a look at it quick and then bounce, because I don't know that you actually really get the lesson, right?
No, I think it, and if it's a quick bounce, but it repeats itself, like you lose your job again.
Yeah. Yes.
Then there's something else going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the saying, you always take yourself into the next situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I leave my job because my boss is not the person I would like him or her to be. And then you will meet another person with the same attitude and the same situation, but it's you at the end of the day.
Yes, it's your perception of, or your ability to transform. And also your ability on the front end of that interview. If you see the red flag, don't go and work for them, no matter the pay rate, no matter the opportunity, the title, the ego pet, whatever it is. But to your point, resiliency sounds like it's also not, part of resiliency is not making the same mistakes over and over again, but instead maybe make new ones, but just don't keep making the same ones. That's part of being resilient is, you can keep taking heavy blows, but don't take the same ones over and over again. Figure out a way to kind of make sure that those blows don't come the same way.
Yes. And so with resiliency comes also attention. Ooh. Attention for your situation and for what's occurring.
Nice.
And with resilience comes letting go, physical and emotional, mentally.
Tell me more about that. I'm curious about that.
Well, if you want to bounce back, but you're the heavyweight at that moment in time because of the situation, the bounce will be very small. Yeah. So literally you have to clean first. Right. And lose weight or but weight on your shoulder, for instance, just the matter of speaking weight.
Yes.
So you need to clean up. Whatever it is, if it's grief or if it's envy but you clean up first and then you can take the bounce.
Right.
And again and again and again, it's all centered around awareness.
You know what? I love metaphors. So I'm going to play with this a little bit just for a second, if you don't mind. You can't bounce if you're weighed down and you're heavy, right? So figuratively looking at what are you holding on to that is creating the heaviness? Because the goals bounce, right? The goal is to bounce in resiliency. But if you've got all this extra stuff, beliefs, things that aren't serving you, you can't bounce back as high, as quickly. It's like, all right, I'm going to bounce, but I'm going to bring all this with me, all this. And interestingly enough, it's the same. It seems like it's the stuff that you're bringing with you is the stuff that's actually going to weigh you down. So you'll bounce a little, but you don't, or to your point, you keep bouncing.
Yes. Right? And so you need a lot of resilience at the end of the day to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the work starts at the beginning, and that's for everybody in a different matter, on a different time frame.
Yes.
So there's no manual for it.
No.
And everybody does it in its own way.
Just like me saying in the beginning, like sometimes I wish that we could take a resilience pill, like a caffeine pill, but because it is different for each one of us, right?
Yeah.
And what that looks like and our ability in it so for lack of a better way of saying it, we need to practice strengthening that ability to bounce and to and to be able to let go. So it's like, it's twofold, right? In order to bounce, you must let go. So what do you need to let go of so that you can bounce back? I think there have been moments in my life where I've struggled personally, LJ, with I wanted something to be, and I was so sure that it was so perfect in my mind how it was going to be. And then it showed up and it was like half that good or half that way. And I had a hard time letting go of, but it's not exactly the way I thought the situation was going to go. And it turns out it was a great situation, but I sometimes struggled with letting go of it. And I think that that prevented me from being able to bounce back quicker. And I stayed in it a little bit longer, that I grieved or, just couldn't let go. So I think that's such a huge part of resilience. Thank you. Yeah. Good awareness, good self-awareness too.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you think is important to share about resiliency and how best to use it? Especially, I think when we're facing sort of, I'm calling it sort of surreal times in our lives, things that have never happened to us before, things that are just shocking to us. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, what I think is well, for me personally, it's, and I can't say it enough, it's about access and sustain positive emotions. And of course, there is grief and there are tears and there is anger, and that's all good.
Yeah.
But no, and to bounce back, it's nice to have positivity or other positive emotions that help you see. It's like trying to jump over a wall, and the first time you're like, "Ooh, that's high."
Yeah.
And the second time you say, "Okay, well, I need to in order to get over the wall, I need more force."
Yeah.
So maybe, what is it? Do I have a backpack on me? Okay, let's throw it over the wall first.
Right. Get
And
it.
then,
Maybe if you need it, throw it over or don't bring it. Right. Either
yes,
one. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, if you want to try and to make it happen, create an atmosphere and a environment for yourself where you are able to do so because you keep positive at the end of the day.
I just wrote down on my little sticky note, resiliency. To have it, you must let go of so much else, but you gain so much.
Yes.
Yep. I love it. Oh, wow. Coach LJ, thank you for the time. I have a new perspective. I feel lighter for many reasons. I'm already ready to figure out what I need to let go of in a number of things, but wow, to be completely serious though, it is, it does come from within us. Our company is called From Within for a reason, is that each one of us does have the strength within us to dig into that resiliency. We've all had moments in time where we've already shown our resiliency. So this isn't about creating it for the first time. It's about, we've done it before at some point in our lives, and reminding ourselves that we can and we will. So thank you. With that, I thank you for that reminder of resiliency and the definition.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Amy.